Hello again, it's Noob, and I have this really, well, I think it's quite nice Chinese Dimple lock, 50mm steel padlock. Um, it's a top security safety lock, apparently. I have a bit of a rule of thumb that anything saying top security really isn't. But nevertheless, it is not a bad lock. It's a 5-pin Dimple lock. You can see that it's got reasonable bitting. It's an anti-shim ball bearing double locking mechanism, as far as I can tell. If you look down there, you can see where the ball bearing sits, but you can also see that there's laminations on the inside. So I think this is actually a laminated steel lock. Not a bad thing. That has been sort of covered with some more probably cheap steel on the outside to make it look nice. Now I've seen other YouTubers pick these before, and seems to be sort of a bit of a debate in how you tension these. Commonly, people either use sort of a vice up and use a hook to pull on the core, or they put in a tension tool like this pry bar, and they're pulling up to try and get clockwise torque on the core. The reason being, of course, that if you put in, say, a tension wrench, because of the curve, it will slip round. Or if you put it in the other side and try to apply torque, you actually end up digging the wrench, any wrench, into the housing outside of this. You might be able to tension it for a bit, but as you pick more of the pins and the core moves more, it'll actually eventually seize up. I don't like to use any of those techniques, especially if I'm going to pick in hand. So I like to use this. This is a Southall double prong tension tool designed for wafer locks or cam locks. And you see there, it gives me really nice control over the core. So this is the Noob patented Smiley Dimple lock tensioning technique. Have a go yourself. So how we're going to pick this one, I'm going to pick it using a dimple flag. And this is one of my Honest Dongshi dimple flags, and you'll see that if I pick on this side, this will curve nicely around there, being held into place by the prong on my right hand side. So quite useful. And if there's any security pins in here, I can actually manually rotate this back and forth quite nicely as well. So it gives me a little bit of control. Without further ado, I'd like to pick my my wang with my dong. Bet you've never seen a lock sporter pick a wang with his dong before, but I'm going to give it a go now. So just enough tension to bind the pins. I'm going to pin 1. And a little click. Pin 2 is really heavily bound, so I'm going to have to manually, might drop pin 1, manually counter rotate the core until I can get a little click off that too. Good. Okay, pin 3, pin 4, pin 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Just gently 3, 2, 4, 5. Let's go from pin to pin, gently pushing up, see where the binder is and giving a little bit of force. So little core turn there, that was on pin 3, pin 4, a bit more of a core turn, pin 5 now. I want you to just manually counter rotate that again, just go on pin 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So see, we're in a bit of a false set, so it looks like there's a security pin somewhere. So pin 1 seems to be fine, pin 2 is set as far as I can tell, pin 3, pin 4, and there we go, we've got an open. So there we are. That is probably the first wang you've seen opened with a dong on YouTube. although I'm sure there are other channels which show that. In the next video, I'm going to have a look at using Dimple rakes on these locks as well. So these are really wave rakes, which you can use in all sorts of locks, pin tumblers, wafer locks, automotive, you name it. But these make excellent dimple rakes due to their extremely thin shafts. So I'll see you next time where you'll see me demonstrate that.